Surprise gasp!
Hey there, my violence-loving buddies. We got more members of the madness to get through in this part of my review. Make sure you have seen the previous parts of my review so you are all up to speed. And the other request, you know it's coming, like, comment, and subscribe to show your support. Plus, it lets me know I'm doing something right here. Anyway, so far I have been pointing out the different features of said assassins I wish to return to the series. I don't want many of these assassins to actually return, just their game mechanics. Best to say before we continue, in case anyone got a bit mixed up in that regard. Well, back to reviewing this rampage. Chloe Walsh.
Show me your face twisted in pain.
Falling onto a prison island did get a good giggle out of me. Gotta love that well-hidden Akashic point, by the way. This stage attempts some tactical espionage. Not the greatest, and I rarely get through this stealth section unnoticed. The prison island is yet another unique location to rampage through. Gunmen galore here, which can be emotionally testing for our battery. Sorry, Chody. We also get a segment which has a forgiving countdown, which is really hard to fail. The stage has some pretty narrow areas to navigate through and lines up well with the design of the prison. Makes me feel like I was invading rather than rampaging. Now, Chloe Walsh probably has the least amount of health for an assassin, which is seriously strange. This feature instantly makes her less difficult than most. I guess the poison cloud she can spawn was deemed too tricky to deal with in testing? The poison mechanic is pretty interesting. You can't lock on or get into a fighting stance. You get one beam katana slash and stumble to the ground after doing so. Chloe will attempt to grab Travis while in this state and poison him even more. If you fail the clash, it doesn't instantly kill you, but puts on some big damage. Oddly, you are out of the poison state as a result of getting poisoned more. Chloe does have a quick 2-hit combo, chucks her poison clouds out her hands and keeps herself behind them as they waft across the room. Chloe has an okay scream attack, a hypno ray, and these weird snake sludge things which are pretty hard to see and easily knock down Travis. Chloe surprisingly spams poison clouds if you are lingering far away for too long. Overall, a Holly Summers light experience with Chloe's poison clouds, but the dynamics of the fight changes depending if Travis is poisoned or not. And I think the first boss to change Travis's well-being, and in turn, changing how he handles. That really brings the fear factor. If Chloe's mechanics were to return, I would make some changes. I would definitely add more health to Chloe, have her close the gap to perform a quicker but smaller poison spread, a weaker draft, more combo attacks that focus on draining your battery, which makes blocking a potential hazard in itself. Hopefully these edits can make Chloe Walsh a more status effects assassin at multiple levels. An okay boss, but with some patience, Chloe is unfortunately not too much trouble after a second playthrough. But damn, she has some style. Dr. Let's Shake.
Do you remember me? Question mark.
For this assassin, we wait a little bit, then head straight into the boss fight. This is probably the most fun keep-away battle for me. I blame the missed opportunity from the first game, the pre-fight cutscene in this game,
Devilish laughter.
and the banger of a tune. I was a little disappointed that we did not get to fight in the Battle Royale, but I got the best slice. Most of the boss fight has you chasing Dr. Let's Shake, scrambling for a safe piece of land, rolling into what I'm guessing is his disaster blaster, and wailing on him before he does his short-range quake. Dr. Let's Shake is a big damage dealer. He has a long build-up before he attacks, and one of his faster moves, the disaster blaster, has a little jingle before it shoots across the arena. His Girthquakes have varying countdown speeds and require the player to have map knowledge of a boss arena. This seriously suits this boss well. I remember being super impressed with the fight back when I first beat it. This boss fight is among the most unique when it comes to playing as Travis. I believe one of my favourite additions to Travis's arsenal is what makes this enjoyable boss fight. The forward dodge roll. Without it, that disaster blaster really would be an issue, slowing the fight right down. I don't have many complaints for this boss fight. The one big one is the limited number of attacks Dr. Let's Shake has. I believe if such a boss fight were to return, having Dr. Let's Shake drum out quakes a bit faster, rushing at Travis to knock him over, clashing with the disaster blaster and launching it back, along with mashing to stab your beam katana into the ground to brace yourself against the quakes, would be some great additions. The maddest wish I have is to be able to suplex Dr. Let's Shake or anything of similar size. Sure, sounds stupid as hell, but suplexing a ghost train is far stranger. It was seriously awesome to see an assassin return from an explosion that left no trace of them, and so satisfying to blow up that metal ass.
my next victim? Question mark.
Would you shut up?
Surprise gasp.
I just need to make one thing clear.
Activating main engine. 2.
Gotcha, bitch!
Oh, hey, Shinobu. Million Gunman.
What? Who's there?
Rampaging for a bank and being able to jump during combat was satisfying. Shinobu has good hang time. Samurai pricks are a great enemy type to bump into at this point in the game. They're really hammering good timing and Shinobu handles well. Her combos end in taunts, cool for styling on enemies but punishing if you don't plan ahead. Shinobu's dodges are a bit slow and she does not have a dash attack, dark side modes, ecstasy gauge or beat attacks. She can dark step, has 2 charge attacks which change if she is moving or standing still. A projectile when standing still or a swift slash that sends her through enemies. Shinobu also has air attacks, a snazzy flip into a suplex if you press the B button when an enemy is stunned. This suplex does remind me of the Hurricane Rana Travis could do from No More Heroes 1. Oh, and this dive move which can be performed after a jump. Shinobu is a fantastic character and I do wish we had more stages to play as her, even if she does lack dark side modes. Now, this is the first time platforming segments have been brought into the series and they don't do so well. But finding buttons to hit in a vault is a nice touch. We also have areas where lasers are waiting to be grazed by Shinobu. They don't do much but make you feel a little accomplished for flawlessly jumping through their gaps. You can really feel how Shinobu's attacks with Jacob's Ladder have a different impact on enemies, interrupting their movements similar to how beat attacks do. The battery charge, or should I say sharpness, lasts quite a while before the katana needs to be sharpened again. I guess Shinobu uses her long ass nails. This stage was well paced, but the jumping segments were tricky to get through on my first few runs. Other than that, this was a great introduction to what the seasoned samurai can do. Facing a millionaire with a gun and stacks of LBs was interesting. The arena can hold you back if you didn't get enough practice with the jumping mechanic. Million Gunman seemed disappointed and maybe a bit insulted his opponent was a young girl. Shinobu was more than happy to put the boomer in his place. Dealing with his ricocheting bullets which track pretty well and retreating to different warp zones can get annoying. Million Gunman has a keep away style which is a bit more jarring due to Shinobu needing to jump to upper and lower levels to catch up with him. Million Gunman also has a full auto mode on his handgun, a dodge roll, and a grab which results in a slap, knocking some LBs out of Shinobu. This boss fight asks something pretty different from the player as well, figuring out where Million Gunman will appear and heading to that level. This can feel irritating due to the clunky platforming, but is far from impossible. If Million Gunman's mechanics were to return, I honestly think tweaking the minimap to give a hint of which level he is on, be able to clash with the ricocheting bullets, and just fixing the platforming mechanics. I'm a bit stumped on this one. An intriguing twist on the signature Gunman boss, Million Gunman does leave me wondering how he got the stacks of cash to make a stage and boss arena. Oh well, old man.
Enjoy your trip.
Trip on this dick!
On to the next one.
New Destroy Man.
We're gonna kill you twice over!
Running around to the No More Heroes 1 tune was cool. Getting a little rocked by cars seems to be a standard for me on this stage. Clambering up to the rooftops and battling along them was awesome. Felt like you were breaking in, bringing that espionage factor back in a good way. Moving around where you shouldn't be. Getting knocked off the roof is not too punishing either. Wink wink, sorta is. We do get more areas where there is quite a bit of distance between you and the enemy, making a great opportunity to slash out some sonic swords. It does seem a bit unclear on where to go near the end of a pretty long stage though. Fighting New Destroy Man was fun to a certain extent, especially on my first playthrough because the censored version of No More Heroes 1 makes this fight seem impossible to even occur. Coming from the guy that forgot Dr. Let's Shake literally exploded without a trace in the same game and didn't question it until their Journey to No More Heroes 3 run. New Destroy Man actually has some of the fixes I hoped for, along with some new problems. But first, I really like that the John Harrett and Destroy Man personas are present on screen together. It was a great dynamic that Shinobu did not have time for. For the sake of discussion, this violence-loving pair shall be called Destroy Blue and Destroy Red. Destroy Blue earns the most complaints due to his keep-away nature, opting to attack with a Destroy Beam and Destroy Cannon which homes in on Shinobu. Both of these attacks can hit Destroy Red, which is hilarious. A good way to get around these projectiles is to fight Destroy Red behind some cover. Destroy Red approaches and does a lot more short-range stuff like punches, drop kicks, dodges, and even does a Destroy Spark out of his crotch. If you do stray too far away from him, Destroy Red will use projectiles too, which I like. When Destroy Red and Blue are functioning, they can cross streams and use Destroy Thruster. This is a super badass attack that sucks in cardboard boxes and Shinobu. This attack can deal some big damage. If you take some cover beforehand, you'll do just fine. Destroy Blue does what he can to get a good angle on you and flies to the upper levels. only coming down to do one snazzy thing: revive Destroy Red. Oh yeah, they can revive each other. Only by a bit, but this can drag out the fight even more when unprepared. This boss fight can change from a chase to a bait scenario. This battle is among the longest because of its fundamentals. 2 targets at different ranges that rarely change patterns. I think a way to speed things up is giving them more attacks they can do in tandem, like Destroy Beatdown, Destroy Storm, and Destroy Blast. These can really lean into the cheesy superhero vibe too. A bit of an annoying prick that with some practice you can get pretty sharp with Shinobu.
Don't we look like shit? How you been, man? Ain't seen you in a while.
Wow.
Will it ever end?
I'll cut things off here. Side note, by the way, a shame that Shinobu ducks out the story and leaves Travis a gift. Sure, Travis shouldn't do something he is uncomfortable with, but Shinobu gained an admiration from an assassin who showed mercy, shedding light on her seemingly bleak outlook on life from the first game, returning those feelings of gratitude in a way that she thought suitable, by building herself up to get stronger, seeing him as a superior,
You're nowhere close to master.
and in turn gaining romantic feelings for Travis. I might read into this a bit more for fun one day. What is fantastic is that Shinobu shows us that the assassination scene has gone global. Sylvia brings this up later as well. Pretty awesome that Shinobu got a big ass belt from her Fruits of Slaying too. In the next video, we will return to Travis and continue to review the madness as he rises to the top. Let me know if you liked this review by hitting that button, comment on who is your favourite assassin out of this bunch, and subscribe so you know when the next part of the review comes out. Until then, see you on the next journey. Take care.